Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. So welcome to this video. In this video, I would like to share on the text analytic projects, which is on the classification that students can do for their final year project. So the title that I choose is on the mental health board, classifying Reddit posts for depression, anxiety, and stress using multinomial Bayes algorithms. So this project actually will extract informations from the Reddit posts, the social media, uh, on the mental health issue. So we want to classify the post into which one is a depression, which one is anxiety, and which one is a stress. So there are three categories. So this is the classifications will classify the Reddit post into these three category using a multinomial Bayes algorithm. Okay, so Bayes algorithm actually is a supervised learning algorithm. Therefore, the data set for this particular project need to have a label. Okay, so we've worked through how to go about this project. So this is a bit descriptions of the projects. The objective is to categorize social media posts related to mental health into depression, anxiety, and stress. So the short form will be DAS. Okay. So the data source is Reddit. We also use a Kaggle dataset to train our Bayes algorithm because the data set in the Kaggles, they already have a labels. So we need a data set, the annotated data set, in order to train the Bayes algorithms. Okay. So the outcome actually is is a three category. Means that we have a post. So the outcome, the output from the name-based algorithm, the model itself will be three category, which is depressions, anxiety, and stress. So, but we use a multinomials name Bayes, so means that we will have a probability of each of that does category. Okay. So what does it mean by probability is the output will indicate how many percent is depressions, how many percent is anxiety, how many percent it is probably will be stress. Okay. However, the output we didn't display it in the form of website, but we transform it using a chatbot. So we would like it to be in the form of chatbot. So we develop a chatbot in order to receive input from user and also to display the output. Okay. So the research design here, this is the research design will start from the data collection itself, from the Kaggles and then from the Reddit post, and then we need to pre-process the data set, the post that we have extracted. Okay, so in the pre-processing phase, we need to remove unnecessary rows, column that we don't need. Sometimes there is a lot of rows and columns, but we only need certain of them. So we need to pre-process and remove certain that is unnecessary. Uh, Removing punctuations, which something that is not important uh, for the process, hyperlink, emoji, and also stop words. Okay, we also need to sometimes to standardize the levels. Sometimes the label is not standardized, so we need to check our data set so we can standardize the levels. I will discuss about it later on. Okay, and also we need to tokenize our uh, data set, our review, our post, because we need to process it words by words so we can understand what does so the model can understand what does it means. Okay. Later, after we have done the pre-processing part, only then the clean data set, the clean, we call it the clean data set. After pre-processing, we move it, the data set, into the classifications model. So in this case, we train the model using multinomial Bayes algorithms. Okay, because if you use a normal Bayes algorithm, the output will be yes or no only. But in this case, we want to know uh, the percentage of each of the category, then we use a multinomial. Okay, the multinomial will give the percentage of each category. Okay, after we have trained and tested the algorithm, we need also to evaluate the accuracy, Then we also need to have the precision, recall, and F1. So these are the four metric that normally used for net-based algorithm evaluations. So after we have developed the models, we need to evaluate the models. So these are the four metrics that important to measure the performance of the models. Then after we have done the evaluations, then we move to developing the chatbot itself, the chatbot interface. Then after the chatbot interface has been created, we need to integrate or deploy our net-based model into the chatbot itself. Okay, so we create the chatbot for user to insert equations and also to display the output from the model itself. So in this case, we will ask equations to a user through a chatbot. So the questions will be based on the DAS 21. DAS 21 actually is the questionnaire. It's a standardized questionnaire being used, okay, to determine whether someone having depression, anxiety, or stress. So we just use the standardized DAS 21 questionnaire and ask the user in the chatbot for these 21 questions. Okay, from that 21 questions, we will evaluate their answer, okay, their answer, and display the output. Cool. So this is the examples of the data set. In the data set that we collected from the Kaggle, so this data set is used for training purposes. So we can train the net payers to understand what kind of post should be depression, what kind of post should be stress, what kind of post should be anxiety. So we want the net payers to learn from that first. So we download it from Kaggle. So this the column B is all the posts, okay, the social media posts, okay. And if you can see here, at the end here got target. So this target actually is a label for that data set, or we call it annotated data set, okay. For nav bayes, because nav bayes is a supervised learning algorithm, the data set that we have need to be labeled. So this is the label. So what does it label means? So this labels is already annotated with a number. So this number actually indicate whether it is a depressions, anxiety, or stress. So normally they have one for depressions, two for anxiety, three for stress. So they already label it. So we know, okay, this post actually it is more on anxiety. Okay, this post is normally more on stress. Okay, so this data set already tell us which post is which category. So we use this data set and put it inside our net-based algorithm, so the net-based algorithm can learn from that. Okay, after the models already learn, we run the model training, we run the model testing, we run the model evaluations. So if you get the result is quite okay, 90% and above, so we integrate it inside our chatbot. Okay, so this is how the chatbot looks like. We have several menu actually, but I will focus on the chatbot itself. I mean the Nave-based model itself. Yeah. So this chatbot actually has a log file, has visualizations, has a question answering function. Now I want to focus on the question answering function only. Okay. So if the chatbot will ask the user on the DAS 21 questions, that means that the 21 questions that will ask a question on the mental health issue. So these questions, we just follow the standard DAS 21 questions. So the user just answer the questions in the chatbot itself. Okay. So the chatbot will retrieve the user answer and put it inside the model. Okay, so we insert the answer, we collect the answer, all the 21 answer, and insert it back into the model. So the model, the next model will calculate the probability of the categories, the three categories, does just now: depression, anxiety, and stress. So this is the second figure here indicate how the chatbot will uh, ask the questions and user can reply the answer. Okay, so the chatbot will retrieve the answer, put it inside the model, and the model will display the output. So the third figure shows actually the log file of the user that have used this chatbot. Okay, so the output would indicate based on the 21 answer that the user give, how many percent it would be depression, how many percent it would be anxiety, and how many percent it would be stress. Okay, so basically, this one of the project that student can do for the final year project. Okay, so it's on text analytic, is on a classifications model. So you can use any any algorithm in the classification. You can use a support vector machines. You can use a decision tree. So in this case, we use a naive-bayes algorithm. So specifically, is a multinomial naive-bayes, because if we only use a naive-bayes algorithm, the output would only indicate whether they will indicate the highest percentage only. For example, maybe depressions only, maybe anxiety only. So they only one output. Okay, but if you use a multinomial, then it can show you actually from the 21 answer that given, actually 60% is depression, 20% is stress, and 20% is anxiety. It can be, okay, but if you use a standard knife bias without multinomial, the result will only display the depression, because the depressions give the highest um, probability. Okay, next we move to model evaluation results. So this is how we report the result of our models. So in this case, they have three levels: depression, anxiety, stress. So we calculate the accuracy 73%. We have a precision and recall and F1 score here. So this is the number. So the model evaluation score normally between 0 and 1. 1 is the most accurate, means that 100% accurate, where 0 is not accurate at all. Okay, so this is the examples of text analytic project that student can do. So thank you, everyone.